Okay, that is our introductory tune because we just love it. We love Andre de Lange, we love his music. My name is Theophilus van Rensburg Linster, and I am broadcasting on behalf of Learning Academy Worldwide, live from Stockholm in Sweden. Weather in Stockholm in Sweden, we'll talk about that just now. Thank you so very much for joining us. If you took your time today, we really appreciate you spending that time with us. This is a unique broadcast, and I'll speak a little bit more about that. I like working, but I do not like working alone. And I'm so very, very pleased and very happy that I'm joined by two very, very close friends of Learning Academy Worldwide, folks who are in the middle of it all, working very hard to make sure that we provide fantastic opportunities for young people to not only acquire knowledge about agriculture, but maybe learn new skills so that they can find good work within agriculture, maybe design and find their own business. Number three, probably for those who are interested, extend their knowledge and skills by studying further in this particular space. So I'm going to immediately ask Iona, who is down in Cape Town, to introduce herself. Now, Iona, thank you so very, very, very much for being with us here today.
Who's listening? It's awesome being here. And wow, this is the very first podcast of 2024. So I hope that everyone's year has started well. I want to wish everybody a happy 2024. May this be the year of breakthrough and just everything that's phenomenal for us all.
We need that.
Yes.
Thank you, Iona.
So it's good to be back on the wires with you. I know that I was part of it last year as well. But for those joining us for the first time, as Theo just said, my name is Iona, and I am one of the directors of Vocational Mavericks here in Cape Town, South Africa. And what we are trying to do on our platform is just also bring change through important platforms, trying to change the narrative of this city, of this country, and then taking that formula and doing our best to apply that in the rest of the continent.
Fantastic.
And I can't think of a better way. I can't think actually of a better way to do that than to join these kinds of platforms. So thank you for inviting me.
Wonderful. Thank you very, very much. Now, what we'll do is, our owner lives in the Cape Town region. I'll just say that. But north from her, very north, almost very close to the Namibian border, is Leon October. Leon, good evening to you, and thank you very, very much for joining us. Greetings you have from Concordia, outside of Springbok in the north. Am I right?
Thank you, Theo. Thank you to your broadcast family. My name is Leon October. I'm from Concordia in Namaqualand, the Northern Cape province, where I'm living. I was born and bred in Haarlem in the Western Cape, a German rural mission town there that was established in the 1700s. But I'm now here in Namaqualand for over 35 years. I'm also a director of the Learning Academy Worldwide, and I'm an agricultural extension officer or agricultural advisor for far over 3 decades, almost 4 decades. And I wish you all a prosperous 2024, and I hope that all the broadcast family, the dreams that you dream will come true in this year. If you believe, God will make it possible that all our dreams will come to a true. Thank you.
Thank you for those warm wishes, Leon. We appreciate that. That's Leon all the way from the south, from north from Iona, but south from us. Leon, how far is it? How far is it to travel between Cape Town and Concordia?
If you travel from Cape Town to Concordia, it's around 550 kilometers
Okay.
west from Cape Town.
Okay.
Wow.
And that's about, is that a 6, 7 hour drive?
Yeah, 7 hours.
Mm.
If you drive 120 is our speed requirements on the road is.
Mm. Okay. So I oh no, there you have it. Now you know how long it's going to take to get there.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Well, can I go now?
Well, I want to say thank you also to good friends of ours who are not here this evening, but we need to have some thoughts for them. Um, Firstly, to be thinking about um, Sven Isaacson. We're very, very honored to be in this particular space right here, right now. Trying to make an impact means that you need partners, you need people to walk a journey with you. Sven Isaacson is that kind of man. And he's appreciated what we do by regularly giving to what we do. And one fantastic way that he has supported what we do is to avail this space right in the heart of Stockholm, Birka Gatan number 10. So once again, Sven, thank you very much for that. But tonight, we also want to specifically think about you and your family. And we know this time of the year in Stockholm, in Sweden, um, there's influenza going around and coughs and sneezes. And I know you're taking care of Frank, your son. We wish him well, and we wish you well as you take care of your family. And there's nothing more important doing that. And so, thanks for allowing us the opportunity to actually share with you our deep appreciation for what you do, and also wishing you, and especially Frank, a speedy recovery. And for you, Andre DeLong, thank you very much for you and for giving to us the joy of the music and the ideas through your music. In fact, what you hear in the background and what we always play here is the music of Andre DeLong. And so we wish you well as you recover, and we look forward to have you all back in the studio here. It's alone, it's a little bit cold, so please come back quickly. Be healthy quickly. But thank you so very, very much that you are part of this wonderful family and for helping us really make a meaningful difference in South Africa. It means a lot to us. And so this evening, we'll hear very, very specifically the answer to two very specific questions. Number one, what are the deep, deep concerns and the deep needs that we have in South Africa's rural communities, young people, small scale farmers? And we asked this because we really wanted to hear Leon's heartbeat on this, hear his views on this, and hear what he thinks those concerns and needs are. And also, very specifically from you, I wanted to just prod and probe, when it comes to some of the questions that
Yes.
you may have. Um, so, Leon, let's just start there. One of the things that you and I often talk about is, what difference can we make in our communities? And I think one way for us to make a difference is to at least we need to understand what the needs are. And so, you've been at this for so long, Leon. You've been at this for so many years. You've worked for many years within the Department of Agriculture. You've worked within these communities, and as you mentioned earlier, you grew up in these communities, and particularly the one that we are working in Harlem. And you understand the circumstances a lot better than most people do. What is your sense? What are the needs that you see amongst our rural communities today?
Uh, Thank you, Theo, for the question. I will answer it like this, even like a background that I will give around our rural communities, especially Harlem and here in the Northern Cape where I am now living. Uh, our rural farmers is mostly consist out of subsistence and small scale farmers where we are working. These farmers, they they do their farming practices on communal land, communage land, and small plots like a half a hectare, 2 hectares. And if you are rich, You will have maybe 3 to 4 hectares. I'm talking now about these rural farmers. And they farm mostly for household consumption and for the informal markets and formal markets where they sell these produce of them. So some challenges that they experience or that I experience as an extension officer also is that we have to adapt to climate change. Climate change is now one of the most worrying factors here in our farming communities. It's high rising temperatures, it's unexpected rains, frost, and cold days when you don't need the very cold temperatures. We receive it. There's lots of invader plant growth nowadays in the lands that we have to plant. So that is some of the challenges that we're facing. Other challenges is we don't have the, can I say it like this, the right equipment and machinery. Small scale and subsistence farmers are very primitive practices that they do. We work with horses and donkeys, and that's why I said we don't have always these new technology with tractors and all those new newly implements. So we work with those primitive like donkeys and horses, but still we contribute to the economic growth of this country by all those challenges that we have. The other challenge that is also a big challenge is access to land. We don't have sufficient land to do sustainable and viable agriculture. We have to farm on those 1 hectare, 2 hectares, half of a hectare. We have to plant there season after season. The other big challenge that we experience is the marketing. Farmers in rural areas, especially our black farmers, are struggling with marketing. And that is some of the things that we will have to address very soon in this country. Otherwise, we will stare food insecurity in the face. Thank you to you. I hope I answered the question.
Yeah. There's quite a lot there, don't you think, Iona?
Yes, that was a very rich response. I value that so much, Leon. Sure. And the way that you just ended that now, that resonated with me now, food security, because that is such a big issue. And I don't think that in our country people understand just how crucial food security really is, unless you are in Leon's profession. Then you understand it very well, you know. But the everyday consumer, I don't think that they really understand the urgency in terms of food security. Thank you for that answer.
Thank you, Iona.
Yes, I think
I
that,
had a question.
Yeah,
actually.
go ahead, Iona.
There was just something that there were two things, Leon. The one was when you said unexpected rain. I think anyone who is not in this line or if this is not their vocation, one would always just imagine that farmers of any kind love it when there's unexpected rain. So when you say that unexpected rain could also be a problem, in what kind of context would that be a problem? How is unexpected rain a bad thing? And you're speaking to somebody who is clueless now, so I'm listening intently.
Yeah, it could be very vital and crucial for example, raisin farmers here in the Northern Cape.
Yeah.
They are now busy to harvest. They are harvesting grapes and they produce raisins.
Okay.
And now you understand, I said it's a summer rainfall area. The harvesting season has started here, but also the rain. We are in the rainy season also. So some livestock farmers are glad for the rain and they are very happy. But if you are a raisin farmer and there's rain, continuous rain, your harvesting will be in big trouble because it will rot on there because you have to dry those raisins for almost maybe
Yes.
10 days. They must lie there in the sun, natural
Yes.
drying in the sun. So if there's rain, they will a lot of rain, they will rotten. So that is those unexpected rains that I'm talking about. Uh, And
Okay,
where
that
that is
makes sense.
where that is the hail. If you go now to the Eastern Cape where there's a continuous hail, they will also damage the apples and the pears, the fruit farmers there. They will have no fruit to harvest. They will take all those export apples and pears. They will have to take it to ciders so that they can make juice of it. So that is also
Yes.
a factor. The hail is very crucial for farmers at this time of the year if the rain hits them, the hail, and as well as the rain for the raisin farmers. But other commodities like livestock, we are very glad as livestock farmers for every rain that we receive. I hope I answered the question.
Yeah,
Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
yeah,
Thank
but
you
it's
very
a
much.
very valid question, Iona. You know, you mentioning that the you know when we think about the different aspects of agriculture, this is some of us the way you ask the question means that you ask it because it elevates our need for just understanding the basics. And in that, I think lies what
Yes.
we probably desire in our young people, and is an inquisitive nature of the basic things and the basic understanding of what is necessary. And so, Leon, I appreciated your answer there on that. I wanted to just ask there's a good number of things. I have a picture up here, and I'm just putting it online right now. It's of, when I was there earlier or under this year, but earlier in January, we were harvesting potatoes in Harlem. And I have a picture of Hiron having those big potatoes in his hands. I'm sure you remember that time when we were there. Um,
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
apart from potatoes, what else grows in Harlem?
Uh, Almost everything can grow there. It's a very good Mediterranean climate that they have there. Most of the rain falls in the winter, but they receive actually rain throughout the year. So most of the vegetable crops can be produced there, such as potatoes. The people like to plant potatoes there. It's like there is in Europe. People like to eat potatoes. We grow up with potatoes. I eat potatoes almost every night or every day. So potatoes and coupled with onions and cabbage. Those three are the three main vegetable plants or crops that the people plant there. But we are also in the game of runner crops, as I called it. Now, a runner crop is now your butternut and your pumpkin and your squash. People plant it nowadays a lot there, even our green beans and our dry beans. But they choose one cultivar. You harvest some of those beans when they are green, and then you leave a certain percentage to get dry, and then you harvest it, and you have that dry beans also. There's also uh, farmers who plant your beetroot, your carrots.
Yes.
You still? Yeah. Okay.
We just probably have a little bit of a connection difficulty there.
Probably a signal issue. Yes.
Yeah. Um, it says 3 connected, so maybe.
Oh, while we wait for. Yes. Leon, are you back?
Yes, yes. So that is some of
There you are.
the crops that we plant there in Harlem.
So Harlem is experts in potatoes. You would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those knowledge was carried passed over to us by our grandparents and our parents, and we have to carry it now over to the younger people there. We know how to plant onions and potatoes. Don't make a mistake. And that is why when people ask me, I said we must marry indigenous knowledge of rural communities with these new innovative and creative thinkings that we have and ideas and technology.
Yeah, and that's an important point. I remember we had quite a conversation about that
Yes.
and the meaning the value of these indigenous knowledge systems. Um, if I could just go back, Leon, now to this issue that you raised about just going down the list here, that in rural communities, between a half a hectare and 3 or 3.5 hectares, um, many people have access to the land. But one of the problems you raised there had to do with mechanization, not having sufficient or enough tools to really make a difference. Um, how do you see that problem being solved at the moment? Are there ways how the communities are solving it right now?
Yes, what the communities nowadays do there, with the assistance of the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, is that they form cooperatives. And with the forming of those cooperatives, they forming a, a cooperative that we call the secondary cooperative, who is now representatives of all those primary cooperatives. And they got some machinery and implements from rural development and in some instances from agriculture also, because it's a one department, national map and province. They are operating as two different ones. So you can go to the co-op, the secondary co-op, and you can go and lease a tractor there with an implement like a plow or a disc or a tiller. But it's very expensive to go there and hire. It depends on how you do it. At first, it was 300 rand per hour. Now imagine a small scale or subsistence farmer now have to pay 300 rand an hour to plow his land. It's a
Wow.
it's a very difficult mountain to climb, a very steep mountain to climb. But you have to do it because you have to do in agriculture deep cultivation with a tractor. Because if you don't do it, plow with a donkey and the horse, the soil will form a layer, and the roots can't go through that layer. And that donkey plow and that horse plow will plow now for you say instance 15 centimeters, and the roots, some of the roots of crops go deeper than 15 centimeters, and you have that thing. It is now limited the plant growth by these layer that the soil make there. So you have to at some stage hire these tractors to do the deep soil cultivation, and that is some challenge that we as people in agriculture, we also as law, as a relevant stakeholder in agriculture, will have to look how we can take hands with the government departments, how we can take hands
Yes.
with the farmers and come up with working and possible solutions around mechanization and implements. You can, after those deep, you work that so deep with their tractors, we now come in and do the light working, or light cultivation with the horses and the donkeys, and it worked very well. So
Yeah, that's
I hope
actually a
you
note
are.
that I
Yes.
had earlier on, Leon. I actually had made a note earlier on about that when you were talking about machinery and equipment, and that farming in that area is still very rural, very manual. And I thought, well, that's actually something that one would have to focus on and really give it a lot of attention, because once there is technology in the mix with farming, wouldn't that also make it more appealing to the young people? In terms of taking up agriculture as a vocation, because I think a lot of young people, when they hear the word farming, they're just thinking about manual labor, and they're going, "No, I don't want to do that." So the technology that is around these days, I mean, it's mind blowing to me when I see um, the leaps and bounds that farming equipment has made. It's just fantastic. It blows my mind completely. And in that area where you are at, I'm sure that would also be a really good thing to acquire in terms of job creation, I would say, because let's face it, it's the young people who are more technology minded, right?
They are, yeah.
Yeah. Before talking about
I'd be the first one to admit that.
Yeah, Leon, before you answer that, I'm just thinking this is a really, really good question that Iona is addressing here. Because, in a sense, Iona, what you are saying is that the problems that we have with limited mechanization, for instance, or limited technological tools, that problem is actually an opportunity. So that if we access or avail new kinds of technologies to our young people, then it's possible that those new solutions can be a draw card for young people.
Right.
So Leon, do you see that is that problem that we have with mechanization also an opportunity?
Yes, of course, it could be an opportunity. But for me, with this new technology, people have to accept new technology, and that's why I use this word of innovation. If you come with new innovation, new thinkings, you must remember it, and it must be in your approach.
Yeah.
You must actually have a communication plan. How you want to communicate with a rural farmer, if it is a woman, if it is a male, if it is a youth. You must have a communication strategy because you must make them aware and you must persuade them and you must inspire them to accept and adopt or adapt these new technology that you want to bring to them. If you don't have that skills, we will have to take hands and we will have to learn and teach each other how we must communicate to young people to get them, to persuade them to accept the new technology that we want to bring to them.
Let me just stop there a second. I think we've done some fantastic work here, and for those of you who have tuned in and just tuned in and listened to us, I'm having a wonderful conversation with Leon October, who's in the north of South Africa, in a place called Concordia in the south, with Iona Birkes. And we're talking about the needs that we see in our rural communities. And it seems that the needs that we see are actually opportunities. And particularly, this need that we see in relation to mechanization and new technologies that could be an interesting opportunity for young people to grow in their knowledge and understanding of it. And I think this is a perfect time, and I'm putting up on the screen right now an opportunity for you to donate to the work of Learning Academy Worldwide in South Africa, that basically strengthens the knowledge and the skills of young people as they not only acquire new knowledge in order to do a meaningfully participate, but they have teachers and their needs that they have within that whole education system, even for small scale farmers. That quick response code that's on your screen right now gives you an opportunity to donate to what we do, and we'll leave that there for a couple of seconds for you to take that phone of yours and log on
and get scanning.
Yep.
The faithless
it's time to wipe your eyes, 'cause you're one in a million, and no one can take that away. Well, thank you for letting us ask. And of course, you're more than welcome to return to this live broadcast once it's posted on these different channels. But thank you for letting us ask of you to support what we do in South Africa. It's a really valuable work, and it involves young people, and it involves small scale farmers in real communities. Leon, I want to quickly switch almost because we're getting to the end of this broadcast, and I want to end this on a very positive note. And my question is, could we speak a little bit about what we have done this far in Harlem? And maybe you can talk about the Seed for Africa project, some direct funding that's already coming in. You know, with all the needs that we have, what is your sense, Leon? Are you positive about the future, and do you think that what we have done this far is making a difference?
Yes, even the little that we done or a person can done in somebody else's life and making change in his life is a contribution, is a positive contribution that you done in somebody's life. What we has done as Learning Academy Worldwide South Africa is that we established an entity called the NPC, a non-profit company, and we start there with taking grade 12 learners into an agricultural course. Firstly, we do a bridging course where we learn them some business skills for 6 months, and after that, there was around 15, no more, 25 students that we have there. 10 from 10 from George and around 10 from Harlem, so there was around 20, a little bit more than 20 also, if I'm correct. You can correct me later. We put them through that business skills course for the 6 months, and then we start with a level 1 basic entry in agriculture. That forms actually the basis for people if they want to go and study further in the agricultural related course. So they completed them, and 3 of that 10 learners there in Harlem has actually been approved by the Elsenburg Agricultural Colleges there in the Western Cape, close to Stellenbosch, and they start with a level 4 course there. And they all 3 pass that level 4 course. So it opens now the door for them to start, if they wish so, with a diploma in agriculture. So very soon, after 3 years, they can now become agricultural extension officers like me. But learning is a continuous thing that we have to do. They will have to go further, because if you want to have a good job in the government, you must have a degree in agriculture. But that diploma is the first phase to go to the workforce, and you can go and you can plow back what you have learned. That is some of our achievements there in Harlem. We also have a big influence on the existing small scale farmers there and the subsistence farmers, even with the youth, because they are mixed. It's youth and it's male and it's women. So we also consistently give awareness to them, train them, and getting them into our groups. That will bring me now to the other phase that we have is a Seed for Africa, where we start last year. It's a 3-year program that we have with the European countries like Belgium, Italy, and Spain, if I'm correct now.
Yes,
I hope I don't leave one out.
Yeah, you're correct.
And then we have 3 African countries: South Africa, we have Benin, and we have Kenya, who are now in a joint venture, as I can call it like that, or in a relationship now, where the European Union give us funding for 3 years where we now will do training. We are busy to train teachers so that these teachers can go back to the areas that we focus on, and they go and they train other teachers, and they will train also students. So in each and every group, there will be around 10 students. Now, these 10 students is in different categories. We have students who pass grade, say grade 8 to grade 10, 12. Those are the young students. Then we have the youth in agriculture. These are mostly people who are out of school and they are busy there with farming activities. We will have a focus on them also. And then we will reach out to the existing small scale farmers. That is a group, a mixture of women and male that we also will have to focus. Then we have other areas like there here in the Northern Cape where we will focus on a youth group in mostly livestock production, but also some vegetable production also. And we have a group there in the George area who is on a strawberry farm. And they are working there nicely on a farm, a commercial farm. So you will see now we have mixtures between rural farming, communal farming, and then we have a commercial farm that we can learn from each other how things are going there on your area, and that's one of the reasons how you can also learn and transfer skills to younger people.
Fantastic.
So, and what we also do is the European Union, they give us exposure. We go to Euro countries and we got trained there, and we will have to come back and give that European Union value for their money when we start with our training of our teachers and our students here in South Africa. We can't just go and get funding and there's no impact of the funding. We must show to the people that is the value for the money that we receive from you. And that is the results that you can see at the end of the day.
Fantastic. Leon, that really summarizes up things quite a lot. You talk about the basic work that we do in the community, a bridging program, taking young people from where they are and giving them new hope. And 3 of them, as you mentioned, have already gone and gotten their certificates. And then you refer to this fantastic initiative now, Seed for Africa, where we are elevating our capacity to connect with other countries and other stakeholders and being supported for the development of our skills. And on that, and then there's a last part that you mentioned about our partnerships, even within the commercial sector, means that our young people, if they are studying, and they're learning, they could, because of our partnerships with these commercial entities, they can quickly get entry into the workspace. So that's fantastic. So we've come to the end of this very, very interesting set of discussions. I know, Iona. Time's flown so quickly, right? Yeah.
Time went by so quickly.
Yeah. But Leon, thank you so very, very much for that wonderful, wonderful insight. I almost think that we must look at this as episode 1, and we need to get back to this conversation next time.
We have to, because I still have lots to say, Theo.
And many questions, I'm sure. So,
yes.
But I own it to you.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, can I just say, I just want to say something to Leon very quickly also. Leon, this short conversation that we've had now was so valuable. Thank you. But what the word that kept on coming through while I was listening to you talking about what you have achieved so far is investment. And I think that a lot of people we don't really understand the depth of that word investment. And I'm not even talking about money. I'm talking about investment in people.
Yeah.
Investment in people's human skills. And I think that what I was hearing now, that is Learning Academy Worldwide's greatest achievement. It's the investment in human skills, in people, and keep doing what you're doing, because this is fantastic. I don't even want to say goodbye now. I don't want to end.
Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure.
Thanks, Iona. That's very, very well said then, and I think that possibly it's been our heartbeat, and thank you so very much for noticing and acknowledging that and bringing it on, because it's people that make a difference. It really is, and all these
Yes.
other. Can we say methods or strategies or tools that we have and resources we have, these are tools to help us really make a difference. So let me say good night from Stockholm. Iona, you can say good night from Cape Town on your own.
Yes. Yeah, you keep warm there.
I'll try.
We are melting out here in the south,
I understand.
down south. Thanks for having me,
You
Theo.
are very welcome. Good night to you, Leon. Thank you so very much, Leon, for giving us of your time and the insights that you shared with us this evening.
Thank you to
Thanks
you.
a lot,
Thank you.
Leon.
Thank you to your
Yeah, it was
viewers.
awesome.
You.
Yes, thank you very much.
Awesome.
And I agree with Leon. Thank you to you, our viewers who joined us on this live broadcast. This
Yes,
broadcast will stay on these
absolutely.
platforms, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook, and so on Twitter, in fact. So you're more than welcome to return and come back to that. And I'm going to close up by playing the last couple of seconds of Andre's very, very popular song, Awe Mama. And I'm leaving on that note, and thank you so very much for joining us, and please keep on supporting us. Thank you.
Good night.